Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. It's Friday. We were off last week, had some other things going on, and took a week off to get caught up on our editing and get everything up to date on the uh, audio stream for the other podcast. So we are back this week. So welcome to Financial Fundamentals here on Friday on Real World Recovery. And we're going to jump into one of my favorite topics, building financial systems that work for you, not against you. So, whether you're brand new to budgeting or looking to streamline your approach, this episode will help you create a framework that saves you time, reduce stress, and keep you focused on what really matters. So glad you're here. If your first time, my name's Brett. I appreciate you joining us and tuning in. If you are not new, you know that we've talked systems before and we've talked about building systems and stuff. So this might be a recap, but appreciate you being here. Um, so, big thing, systems are designed to do the heavy lifting for you. Automating saving and automating paying bills, simplifying the budgeting process. This is all about working smarter, not harder. By the end of the episode, you should have some actionable steps to automate, simplify, create sustainable systems to support your financial goals. So let's jump right in. Um, yeah, let's get started. So, first thing, what are financial systems? They're repeatable processes, tools that can help you manage your money more efficiently and effectively. Think automation, tracking, simplifying, um, creating a structure so that you don't have to make the same decisions or do the same steps over and over again. Um, so, why are these important? They eliminate decision fatigue. Um, if you're manually paying bills every month or manually moving money around every month or every week and constantly having to check your accounts, that's a lot of mental bandwidth and a lot of acrobatics that you don't have to do. That's time and energy and mental capacity that you could free up. So it helps you stay consistent. It helps do the same tasks and the same processes at the same time every month, every week, every day, over and over time. Something I always preach, make those small, good decisions, repeat them over time. It will compound, it will help you build good habits. Um, it's key to good financial health, it's a key to good recovery health, it's a key to good mental health. Um, so, what's the opposite of this? What happens if we don't have these systems? So, more likely to miss payments, more likely to overspend, more likely to avoid financial tasks because they feel overwhelming. And let's be honest, it's the emotional toll of being disorganized. It's the emotional toll of the overwhelming feeling of too many decisions or too big of decisions or having to cut something out or make a tough decision. All of that stuff can weigh on us and it takes its toll. So being able to offload some of that to just it's already handled, it's already just done for us. It's already just built in, out of sight, out of mind, it's already handled. So let's see what it looks like to build that system. So what we want to do is automate whatever we can. Um, have it just happen automatically. The things that just happen for us automatically. So this has been my best friend when it comes to my financial health. Um, it's the simplest way to make sure we're staying consistent without having to rely on sheer willpower all the time. So set up a direct deposit. Most employers have this set up automatically, but if it doesn't automatically happen, check with your payroll department and see if you can get it done. And then take it a step further. From that, most of them will allow you to split up where that direct deposit goes so that it's not just all lump sum going into one account. You can have part of that paycheck go into a savings account, part of it go into an investment account, part of it go into a bills account. Um, so, we've got separate accounts for separate purposes. We've got savings, bills, vacation account, an account for our kids' education. You know, all of these things can have automatic deposits as soon as money comes in. So we can have automatic bill pays take care of rent, utilities, insurance, car payment, anything that has a predictable date that it needs to get paid, we can automate that. So it's just set it once, forget it, it's taken care of. We can automate savings transfers for things like our emergency fund. So unexpected bills or unexpected expenses come up. Um, you know, car gets a flat, or water heater breaks, or um, emergency room visit, or a trip to the dentist, or whatever. Um, any of those things can have money just go into your emergency fund. A lot of the uh, people online that have these financial channels will tell you 3 months. It's actually better to have 6 or even 12 months of expenses saved up in an emergency fund, but anything is better than nothing. So get started. Just get a start. Whatever it is, getting started in the habit of doing it is better than saying, "Oh, well, I don't have it, so why do anything?" Just getting started in the process and getting in the habit of doing it is far better than nothing. Um, you can automate transfers into a vacation fund or any other goals, um, and then the big takeaway is it creates that consistency. And once you start getting into that consistent habit, it's far, far easier to make progress and build on that. Once we start getting into that habit and we're in a consistent habit, we can stack on that habit and create better, more consistent, better habits on those habits once they're already there. Um, you don't need to actively think about it. You don't will it into existence. You don't have to force yourself to do it or stress out about it. Um, the next big part of this is we want to simplify. We, this shouldn't be complicated. Um, the whole idea of a solid financial foundation is we want it to be as simple as possible. Money shouldn't be complicated. So the simpler it is, the more likely it is we're going to be able to stick with it. So that's why I like the 50-30-20 rule. See back to the earlier episode that we did about budgeting. 50-30-20. 50% for those expenses or needs, 30% for savings and investing after we get out of the high interest debt, of course, and then 20% for our guilt free spending, our fun account. And if spreadsheets aren't your thing, which most people it's not, you can use a simple budgeting app or a spending tracker to track your categories automatically. Um, I definitely recommend doing this for the first couple of months. No judgment or shaming, but just to get an idea of where your money is going, what you're currently spending your money on, just to have an idea of when money comes in, where are we currently spending our money, just so that you can see how money flows in and out of the household. Um, if you want, I've created handy expense worksheet that we talked about in the debt episode that was episode 3, I believe. Getting out of debt and managing cash flow. If you want to go into our Discord server and sign up, you can get the link for the worksheet that I put together to have this handy worksheet, and you just plug in your numbers, and it will show you in this handy chart uh, how money comes in through the month and how it goes out through the month, so you can get an idea of how you should be arranging your bills throughout the month so that you don't ever have too excessive of a uh, cash flow heavy in or out period of the month. So I'll put a note in the show notes here for that episode. So if you want to go back through and take a look at that episode and hop into the Discord and sign up, and we'll get a link for that worksheet if you want a copy of the cash flow worksheet that I put together. And then another good tip is build in some buffer buckets. What I mean by that is there's always going to be unexpected expenses and unexpected things that come up. So having these little buffers and overflows. So anytime you're calculating expenses, add maybe 10% on top. And so that way, if something comes up, you've already kind of added a little cushion on top of the expenses you normally plan for. So there's already a little bit of a buffer and a little bit of a overestimation. So when those unexpected expenses do come up, you already have a little bit of a extra runway available to absorb some of those smaller unexpected expenses, and so you don't feel surprised or inconvenienced. You just already have the ability to absorb that cost. Um, and then use technology wisely. Technology can be a great tool. There's a lot of really good apps out there, but they're also designed to keep your attention and keep you engaged. They want to create a game. They want you to do something. If it's a free app, you're the commodity. You're the product. So um, take that at face value. So there are a lot of good tools out there, but keep in mind that if they're letting you use the program for free, they're probably trying to sell you something. So um, if you got a credit monitoring app, don't sign up for a credit card through it. They're probably getting paid by the credit card company to get you to sign up for it. But it's not a bad idea to use it for what it is. If it's just to check the credit, great. Check it every once in a while, and that's it. If you're using it as a budgeting app, great. But don't sign up for accounts through it. Don't get a loan through it or anything like that, because they're probably getting paid from it. But and also don't get too many of them. Maybe have one expense tracking app, one credit monitoring app, or maybe one, like, for, I think Credit Karma gives you TransUnion and Equifax, and then the Experian app gives you the Experian credit bureau. So those two cover your three big credit bureaus. That's all you need. And then one app to cover your expense tracking, and check it every so often. You don't need to check it every day. And so don't get overloaded with it. Don't obsess with it. That's not a healthy, that's overcompensating. Uh, and build in a system for debt management. Again, go back to the episode that I did, episode 3, on getting out of debt. For those of you that did see it, you will remember we had the avalanche method, which, if you remember, that's one method where you start off with one strategy, and then we also had our snowball method. So the avalanche method starts off very big. You pay off your biggest debt first, And then the snowball method, you start small and it grows to give you the momentum. So I had my thoughts on which one was better, but you know yourself, whatever works better for you, that's what's going to be the best for you. The point is, do something, get started. So take a look at episode 3, getting out of debt and repairing credit, and that will get you some better ideas on there, and we'll go into more detail on that. And then also, you know, doing just periodic checkups, maybe every month or every few months, check in and just make sure that things are still working the way you want, and everything's still doing what it's supposed to, that your budget is still on pace for what it needs to be. Like the numbers still add up, they're covering your bills correctly, things like that. Have your priorities shifted? Are there you know different things that need more attention? Have um, are there kids now in the picture, or have they taken up a different hobby at school, or did you decide to get a new car, or are you guys moving, or whatever? So it's good to check in every so often and just make sure that, hey, are the things that we talked about a few months ago still the same priorities, still the same things that are true today? Are we still heading in the same direction, and are the numbers still adding up? Um, and then always have a plan for emergencies. Life happens. Sometimes you just need to be able to hit pause and deal with an emergency. Um, and that's okay. That's the way life goes. Life happens. We got to deal with it when it happens. Um, so it's okay to hit pause and deal with it. The key is, as soon as it's dealt with, you're getting right back to it. We need to make sure that we get back in the rhythm as soon as possible, because it's very easy once we get off track to stay off track, and that's what we don't want to do. We need to make sure that um, those emergency situations remain temporary, that they don't completely permanently derail what we've been trying to do. So um, that's why those periodic check-ins are important. Maybe it's put a reminder on your calendar for every so often to just check in, and then it pops up automatically as an event to notify you that, hey, I need to check back in on my budget, check back in on my financial systems. And as things grow, things should simplify. So as your financial system improves, things should be able to streamline and simplify. So as debts are paid off, there's fewer accounts that need your attention. We should be able to streamline and simplify. We should be able to consolidate. We should need less accounts. We shouldn't have to have a debt payoff account, uh, multiple different accounts. So it should get easier and easier to manage. We should be able to roll all of that into a checking, a savings, and an investment account, right? And then, old 401ks can roll over into one IRA, or, that kind of stuff. So as income increases, we can automate more. We can roll into bigger, higher yielding savings accounts. We can, um, you know, get all of that stuff more simplified is the idea. As our situation improves, things should get easier to manage, and um, that is the ultimate goal. Is we can automate more, we can simplify, we can reduce, we can consolidate. So the whole goal here is that we're able to uh, get ourselves to better footing. We're able to get onto more solid ground. We're able to automate and take all of the stress away from having to be in a daily ball of stress and concern and worry about all of the things that we've had to manually do um, and manage on our own. So um, these are some of the basics of financial systems. If you've got questions about how to do any of these things or where to start, what apps to use, um, I encourage you to reach out. I'd love to chat more in the Discord. Um, Feel free to sign up. It's free. Just create an account, join the Discord. We've got a community in there. And I love to answer questions and chat more about money stuff anytime. And then what I would recommend you do is just to get started, pick one bill or savings goal that you haven't started yet and automate it. Pick one bill and just set up an auto payment, um, and just set it to automatically pay it, or set a goal to figure out what day you get your paycheck, and set up, 20 or $50 or whatever it is, and set it to automatically transfer into your savings account. And then figure out one uh, app that you can integrate into your routine and use that to start either tracking your spending or your credit, and start using that maybe once a week or once a month. And then also schedule a 15-minute budget review. Reach out to me. I'd be happy to take a look at it. Let's take a look at, just we'll get your numbers plugged into the cash flow worksheet, and I'll be happy to take a look at it, and we'll take a look at how we can get you get you moving forward, get you out of debt, get your credit moving in the right direction, and get you started on savings and investing goals. Um, Next week, we'll take a look at some of the more emotional side of money, um, how to navigate some of the feelings, the shame, the guilt, the anxiety, that I know was holding me back, and how to get through that, get past it, um, and start actually making progress and start actually moving forward and through that. Uh, so I appreciate you joining me. I'm glad to be back. Please, if you haven't, uh, uh, subscribe, like the video, share it with somebody, leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover on any future segments, and we'll see you in the Discord. And have a great week. Take care, everybody.